Welcome. Namaste. My name is Babette. Thank you so much for practicing with me here on my YouTube channel. I am really excited about this sequence. I've done it for 2 weeks here with my student friends in New York. There's a lot going on. Most of you here on my channel know that on top of being a yoga teacher, I'm also a yoga therapist. So I spent roughly 3 years studying an additional 900 hours on how we can use the entire arsenal of yogic tools to not just live more healthily, freely, physically, but also mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And we know, for instance, that exercise is great for our brain health, but on top of that, exponentially, a novelty, doing things that we haven't done before, combining that with exercise, movement, and we're literally making ourselves smarter. So I will most likely throw things your way in this class that you may have not done before, whether that be transitions or movements in the body, and I really hope that you enjoy. It's a lot of mobility that we'll be working through pretty much the entire range of motion of your hips. We're getting into mobility of the knees and ankles and joint stability, integrity. Stay with your breath, have fun, maybe a little bit of water, hand towel nearby, primarily your practice space and a moment to practice. When you are ready, please meet me at the back of your mat in a child's pose, but with your knees together, roughly parallel. Sweeping your hands by your feet, palms facing up, resting your forehead on the floor. You might want to gently rock a bit side to side. So there's a bit more rounding in the lower back here, upper body. Awesome stretch for the top of your feet. Take a big breath in through your nose and side out. Let the next inhale pick you up to all fours, hands and knees, tabletop. Spread your fingers out wide. You'll see a WW between your fingerprints. And encircle your shoulders over the wrist. A little wrist maintenance here. Try not to collapse in the low belly. Draw navel to spine. Maybe even push the back of the heart to the ceiling. And encircle it the other way around. As you try to evenly distribute the weight over the entirety of your hands. So as you rock forward into the fingerprints, press the very base of your hands into the floor and vice versa. Then dial your fingers to the side walls and rock your weight side to side. Very tempting to just kind of collapse and just, slide side to side. Make it active. Back of the heart pushes to the ceiling. Your shoulder blades slide away from one another. Finding that protraction. And again, you're pushing into both hands as you transfer your weight. Then dial your fingers to face your knees. It doesn't have to be a full 180. We just want to flip our perspective. We hold a lot of stress in our forearms, our wrists, so maybe just want to breathe and marinate or rock your weight front to back. And especially as you sink your seat a little further back, you will find a little bigger pull on the forearms and the wrist. Big breath in, side out. Your choice for some spice, keep your fingers facing your knees or dial them forward to the front of the mat. As we step it back into a plank pose just for 5 counts. Not even 5 breaths, really pushing through your palms so you're creating space, lengthening through your joints and you're not sitting in them. Push through your heels, find one more breath. And then in control, lower your knees down to the floor, untucking the toes. Spin your fingers forward if they're facing backward. Keep your hips over your knees as you walk your hands forward into a puppy pose, Anahatasana. Forehead on the floor, forearms on the floor, allowing yourself to give the wrists a break. So you can press the top of the feet into the floor. The shins. I'll be very specific with all of those small details today, where your toes are pointing at, what you're doing in the top of the feet and shins. So start to connect here to the top of the feet and shins. Then lifting your head, press into your palms to lift the elbows Sink your seat back until your hips are back on the heels in that kind of parallel child's pose. Maybe set an intention for your practice. Don't put any pressure on yourself that it's esoteric or grand. Just a small reminder for why you are here. Your spine is already in a cat-like shape. On the inhale, come to all fours through a cat spine. Push the back of the heart to the ceiling. Exhale, draw the hips forward and through into this high cobra. You can take your feet a bit wider if that feels better in the low back. And then exhale back through a cat spine, hips to heels. Spinal waves twice more. Inhale on all fours, cat spine. Draw that forward and through into that higher cobra. And then exhale, push the back of the heart to the ceiling, hips to heels. Oh, one more time. Inhale, coming up. And then exhale, draw it back through cat, hips to heels. Then please come to all fours, your hands and your knees. I'm just going to swap sides so you have a better angle of me here. Walk it to the top of your mat because you need a little bit of space behind you. Tuck your right toes, push the right heel, the leg lengthens and go for a pause. Please make sure your core is engaged, navel to spine, and that the breath is smooth. On the inhale, swing your right foot to your left. Think whole side body on the right opens, go for a pause. And let's dig into your obliques. Maybe walk your hands a smidge further forward. Exhale, draw your right knee to your right tricep, shoulders come forward. And then inhale, swing that right leg back to the left behind you. 4 more times. Exhale, right knee to right tricep. Inhale, swing it back to the left. Exhale, knee to tricep, shoulders forward. Inhale, swing it back. Exhale, knee to tricep, breathe out. One more time, inhale, swing it to the left behind you. Exhale, right knee to tricep, hold. Inhale, swing your right leg long behind you, parallel with the long edge of the mat. Dial your left toes a bit to the right. There's a 45-degree angle in the shin. Place the top of your right foot on the floor and then walk your hands back, sliding over your left leg in this pigeon pose variation. Take a big breath in, side out. So coming from your core, your hands here, not your left knee. Tuck your right toes. Inhale, come back up to that one-legged tabletop as you slide forward. Swing your right leg to the right, toes dialed to the front of the mat. And then reset your left leg as a proper kickstand. Right hand planted on the floor underneath your face. Inhale, left arm sweeps up. And exhale, thread that left arm underneath the right. Come on forearm or upper arm. Coming onto the left cheek if you're on the upper arm. Right hand can be a kickstand. It can walk all the way to the top edge of the mat. You can even wrap your right arm around your lower back. See if you can parallel your left shin to the long edge of your mat. Press that top of the foot into the floor. Next inhale, re-extend your right arm up if it was behind you. Plant it on the floor underneath the elbow and sweep that left arm all the way back up to the sky. Exhale, left hand lowers. Another 45-degree in your left lower leg, toes turn to the right. Use your core, your hip strength, and your right foot and hands. Sink your seat a little bit back, and then inhale, bring it forward. Go for 2 more. Exhale, seat goes a bit back. Inhale, come back up. And then exhale, seat draws back. Use your hands, walk it all the way back, sitting behind your left heel. Take your right forearm on the right thigh, the inner right thigh, maybe block, or perhaps you can take it all the way on the outer leg. Try not to drive into your quads though. Left arm reaches up, roll the left shoulder back, peek underneath the armpit, both butt bones on the floor. Big breath in, side out. Inhale, come upright. Swing your right leg forward, parallel to the long edge of the mat. Left knee faces up. Plant that foot into the floor. Your right hand swings to your right behind you. And then come up into a rock star from the ground up. You can keep it all the way stacked or roll your heart and hip open to the ceiling. Use your next inhale to lower your booty back down to where you found it. Hands go behind you, fingers face your seat. Or one-legged reverse plank addition, coming high onto the ball of the left foot. Push the big toe mount of your right foot into the floor. Looking forward, step right foot next to left onto tippy toes. Walk your hands forward until you're in your tiptoe stand. Try not to let the knees touch the floor, hands to heart. My ankles collapse here, so see if you can press into the big toe mounts to make that not happen. Next thing, coming from your quads, your glutes, and by pushing through your heels, not so much your knees. Inhale, reach your arms forward, down and back, interlace your fingers. Exhale, push the heels down, lengthen through your legs, let the head drop. Take that fist with you overhead. Inhale, release your bind, bend your knees, pop onto the balls of your feet, hands to heart, back to your tiptoe stand. And we will do that twice more. Inhale, arms reach forward, down and back, interlace. Exhale, heels down, lengthen through the legs, head drops. And then inhale, release that bind, bend the knees, pop into the balls of your feet, heels lift, hands to heart. And then inhale, arms sweep forward, down and back, interlace, push your heels down, let the head drop. Find a big breath in, rock the weight into the front of the feet, exhale, let it go. Release your bind, hands come down a half lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands in front of the feet, bend your knees if you need to make that happen. We'll go for a bear walk to the front of the mat. Coordination, right hand, right foot, left hand, left foot, right hand, right foot, left hand, left foot. Find another half lift when you get there. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana, up hands pose. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, arms sweep up, full breath in. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. Find a half lift on the inhale, sternum away from your tailbone. Exhale, your left foot steps back into a runner's lunge. I'm going to slide a bit back to make the middle of my mat. Plant your palms down. Inhale, sweep your right leg up for down dog split. Bend your right knee, open up your hip, give your ankle a little whirl. Keep spreading through your fingers, smooth out your breath, relax your face. On the inhale, re-lengthen back through your right leg. As you face the top of the foot to the floor, point through the toes. And strengthen the top of your feet. Inhale, come forward to a one-legged plank. Place the top of your right foot onto the mat. Push through your palms. Top of the left foot on the mat. Sink the hips forward and through to your upward facing dog. And then exhale, draw it back to your downward facing dog. So shoes are great. However, they really limit the range of motion of our feet. They can really make the top of the ankles quite tight. This sequence is going to dig into that quite a lot. Inhale, lift the heels, hips, dome it forward to plank pose. Exhale, lower halfway down through Chaturanga, coming up into your upward facing dog on the inhale. And then exhale, find your downward facing dog. Now we can spice that up a little bit by changing how we take our vinyasa. Inhale, come forward to plank pose. Lower halfway down in Chaturanga and stay. Flip onto the top of the feet in Chaturanga. Then come into your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Smooth out your breath. Take a breath cycle in and out. And then please enjoy a child's pose or sit up on your shins. I'm going to swap directions. Take a moment. And then allow yourself to come back to all fours, hands and knees. Maybe walk it a bit to the top of the mat so you have space behind you. And I like a bit of a 45-degree from the shoulder to the wrist to give myself space for my oblique crunches, so to say. Tuck your left toes, push through the heel, the leg lengthens away from you. Go for a small pulse, waking up the back of the leg, your core, and make sure you're breathing. Inhale, swivel your left foot to the right. Think banana shape in the body. Go for a pause. I recommend you start to look forward. Exhale, draw your left knee to the left tricep. Shoulders come forward. Inhale, swing that left leg back to your right. 4 more times. Exhale, knee to tricep. Fully breathe out. Inhale, swing it back to your right. Exhale, knee to tricep. Inhale, swing it back to the right. Exhale, knee to tricep. Inhale to the right behind. 1 more time. Exhale, knee to tricep. Hold. Inhale, swing your left leg long behind you, parallel with the mat. Dial your right toes a bit to the left. There's a 45-degree in the shin. Plant the top of the left foot onto the floor. Walk your hands back until you slide over your right leg in that pigeon pose variation. Take a big breath in through your nose. Side out. Again, core, hands, tuck your left toes. Come back up onto your one-legged tabletop. Swivel your left leg to the left, toes face the front of the room. Reset your right leg as a proper kickstand. Left hand goes underneath your face on the floor, right arm up. And an exhale threaded through. Come onto the right upper arm or the forearm. If you're on the upper arm, right cheek on the ground. Left hand underneath the elbow, reach it forward or wrap it around the lower back. Again, can you feel that that right shin is parallel to the long edge of your mat? Take a big breath in. Maybe a sigh. Then on the inhale, re-extend your left arm up. If it was behind you, plant it on the floor. Right arm reaches up to the ceiling. Exhale, right hand lowers. Dial your right toes a bit to the left, 45 in the lower leg. Use your core, hip strength, your hands. Sink your booty a bit back, and then inhale, come up right. Twice more. Exhale, sink it a bit back. Inhale, come up right. Exhale, sink it back. Walk your hands back, sit behind your right heel. Setting up for a gate pose variation. Left forearm on the left thigh, inner outer thigh, your choice, maybe on a block. Right arm reaches up. Roll the shoulder back, peek underneath the armpit, lengthen through side body on the right, but try not to collapse on that left side. Keep your core engaged. Next inhale, please bring yourself upright and swing your left leg forward parallel to the mat. Face your right knee up to the ceiling. Plant that foot in the floor. Left hand reaches to your left behind you. Come up into that rock star from the ground up. You're on the outer blade of the left foot, ball of the right. And then inhale, lower your seat back down to where you found it. Hands go behind you, fingers face your seat. A one-legged addition, reverse plank. Come high onto the ball of that right foot. Plant the big toe mount of the left foot into the floor. Maybe let the head drop. Push, push, push. Looking forward to step that left foot next to right on tippy toes. Walk your hands forward back to tiptoes stand. Glue those big toe mounts into the floor. And try not to let those ankles pop out. Same thing, quads, glutes by pushing through your heels, but something else though. Arms reach up, bicep by the ears. Exhale, heels down to chair pose. Inhale, hands come to the heart. Pop your heels off the floor, back to tiptoe stand. Twice more, biceps by the ears. Don't make it come from your knees. Heels down, chair pose. Hands to heart. Inhale, pop the heels, sit on them. And then arms up, biceps by the ears, get long, heels down, chair pose. Hands to heart, chair. Forward fold over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands in front of the feet, bend the knees if you need to make that happen. Bear walk, number 2, left hand, left foot, right hand, right foot, left hand, right hand. Find your forward fold. Inhale, a half lift. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, come all the way up. Push your feet, navel to spine. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms sweep up. Full breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Find your Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, your right foot steps back to a runner's lunge. Plant your palms into the floor. Inhale, a left down dog split. Send it all the way back. Bend the left knee, open your hip. Give the ankle that whirl, some love, a mindful clockwise and counterclockwise. I think counterclockwise is harder for me. Then re-lengthen through your left leg, dog split. Draw the belly in, knit the ribs in, top of the foot faces down. Come forward to a one-legged plank. Place the top of the left foot onto the floor. Push through your palms, top of the right foot. Hips draw forward and through to upward facing dog. And then exhale your downward facing dog. Slow down your breath. And then on the next inhale, let's come forward to plank pose. Exhale, lower halfway down to Chaturanga. To your upward facing dog, push through your palms. Try not to clench your glutes too much. Exhale, down dog. And then for that spicier addition, if you want, or stay in down dog or take the regular one, inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, you're lower halfway down to Chaturanga. You flip on the top of the feet. Then you come to your upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Take that big breath in. Sigh it out. Take a moment. And then do come back to a child's pose, balasana, or sit up on your shins in Seiza pose or Vajrasana. So we're going to build on what we just did. So adding a little bit more hip mobility, joint integrity through the ankles, especially body parts that you cannot see when you're flowing. You have to connect to them. You have to feel them so that we're not moving through perhaps a rapid transition. Rapid is a big word, but a foot pattern change that if we're not doing it mindfully, we could potentially, make a wrong move. So really breathing in and connecting to your body parts. All right, all fours on the inhale. Walk it a little bit forward. Find that 45 shoulder to wrist ratio. Especially for this one, I like a little bit of space underneath me. Tuck your right toes. Push through the heel, leg away from you. Pause. Connect to your breath. Core is engaged. Swivel your right foot to the left. Go for that pause. Switching things up here though. Exhale, draw right knee to right tricep. And then inhale, thread it in front of your left leg. Scoop the knee and push your booty back. Think eagle legs. Exhale, right knee to right tricep, shoulders forward. Inhale, swing it back to the left behind you. And we'll go for two more. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, thread it in front of left knee. Scoot the booty back. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, swing it behind to the left. And then exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale in front of the left knee, scoot your seat back. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, swing it back to the left. Now exhale, step your right foot all the way to the outside of your right hand. Bring a little bit of weight forward, maybe scoot the left knee a bit back. Look forward. Reach your right arm forward, up and all the way back. Let that be enough. Or maybe take your tail grab, pinky toe edge of the foot. A little pulse. I like to let my right knee splay out. Feels good in my hips, maybe not in yours. Perhaps come onto your left forearm if you want. Turn your beautiful heart up to the ceiling. Go for a big breath in. Maybe a sigh. And then carefully let the tail go if you have it. Please come to palms if you're on forearms. Tuck your left toes, push through the heel, the knee lifts. You're in a high lizard here. So here we go, joint integrity. We can't see it, so we have to feel it. Dial your left heel down to the right. As you then bend your left knee, lengthening through right leg. Walk your hands back. Think this underground Skandasana variation. I like to take my left forearm down to the ground, and I like to look back. Inhale, find that high lizard over your right leg. Pop that left heel off the floor. And we'll go for 2 more. Exhale, left heel down to the right. Bend the left knee, draw it back like that bow and arrow, maybe head drops. Inhale, rebend your right knee, walk it forward to that high lizard, look forward. Exhale, left heel draws down to the right, walk it back, maybe bow the head. And then inhale, walk it forward to your high lizard, left heel lift off the floor. Exhale, step your left foot then behind your right at the top of the mat. Come on the ball of the left foot. And inhale, come all the way up to stand, arms sweep up. Grab your left wrist with the right hand. Inhale, reach up for length. Exhale, take it over to your right for an awesome side body opener on the left. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to heart and pull your left knee up to the left armpit. Inhale, figure 4 chair, left ankle over right thigh. Sink your booty way, way, way back. So you gotta stick your seat out to find this deep hip flexion. Flex your left foot, stabilizing left knee. Steady gaze. On the inhale, unhook your left ankle and step it back into a warrior 1. Giant step back, finding your feet, always further than you think. Finding the outer blade of that left foot, you drive it down. Hands go behind your tail, interlace your fingers. Inhale, pull that fist down and back. Heart opens to the ceiling. And then exhale, your humble devotional warrior. Let the head drop. Look at your back foot. Stay connected to the outer blade of that left foot while you relax your right toes. 1 more breath. And then carefully release your clasp. Frame your right foot with your hands. Pop your left heel off the floor. Lower the left knee down. And as you untuck the left toes, swivel your left lower leg a bit to the right. Hands come down. Inhale, draw your right leg underneath you and behind you. Top of the foot on the floor. Walk it back over your left leg into that pigeon pose variation. Big breath in. Side out. Tuck your right toes, hip strength on the left, hands and core. Come back up to that one-legged tabletop. Swivel your right leg to the right, toes face forward. Reset your left leg as a proper kickstand. Right hand underneath your face. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread it through, forearm or upper arm. And then plant the right hand underneath the right elbow. So a different transition here. You can't see it, gotta feel it. Dial your left toes a bit to the right. Find that 45 degree in the left lower leg. Look over your right shoulder to the ceiling. And by pushing into your left shin, your right foot and your right hand, keep looking up as you sink your booty back until you're seated behind your right heel, left heel, I apologize. And then come up to sit. So just a different way, Cirque du Soleil move. Back to gate pose, right forearm on the thigh, inner thigh, block your choice. Left arm up. Maybe this time you want to try to sink a little further over. Keep rolling left shoulder back. You want to get into that side body. 1 more breath. And then on the inhale, bring yourself upright. Left hand reaches to your left behind you. Come up into stargazer. You're on the left shin, right arm reaches up. Now spin your left toes a bit to the right, underneath you, so you can swing your right leg in front of you and over left, opening up here into your Gomukhasana, your cow face pose. You may need to sink a little bit further back. Maybe you're like, you know what, this is a great time to take a moment to rest, folding over. If you want to have a look at cross-legged side crow, both your hands go over to your right. Pop onto your left lower leg. I use 2 arms. That's a bit of a deeper twist. 1 upper arm requires more upper body strength. So place the outer thigh on 1 or both upper arms. Teeter-totter by bringing the chest weight forward. Look forward, weight in the fingerprints. And if you're on your hands, separate your heels so you can lower your seat between the heels back into your Gomukhasana, cow face pose. If you're forward folding, please come upright. Your right toes are facing the back of the mat. Take your hands to the back of the mat. Step into that right foot, opening up into a standing split. Left leg floats. Now I have two options for you here. You are more than welcome to just swap out your legs, left foot down, right foot up, boom, done. But maybe you want to attempt a scissor kick switch, coming high on the ball of your right foot, swapping out your legs. Maybe go for one or two. Eventually we'll be in a standing split with your right leg up, left leg down. Then step your right foot back into a runner's lunge. And inhale, open up to warrior two over your left leg facing the back of the mat. So this is a biggie for your legs. Make it come from your legs and your feet by pushing down. What you push down is the support you receive back into your legs. On the inhale, Skandasana over your right leg, back of the mat as low as you like. And then warrior two over your left leg. Change your foot pattern, take your time. We'll go for two more. Inhale, Skandasana over right. Push through your heel. And then exhale, find warrior two over your left leg. Change your feet. One more time. Inhale, Skandasana over right. And then exhale, warrior two over left. Just going to take it back to Skandasana one more time over your right leg. You might be like, can we please have a seat? Let's go for it. Lower your booty down as you are, or have a seat and reset your legs. Your right foot is on the floor, knee faces up. Left leg is to your left, parallel to the long edge of the mat. Another gate pose variation. Hold on to the inner right ankle with the left hand. Right arm up. Stay here, or start to sink your left shoulder towards the inner left thigh. Maybe you want to reach your right arm way overhead. It doesn't matter how far you go or if you clasp pinky toe or outer left ankle. You want to roll that right shoulder back as I'm trying to dig into your right side body. Take a big breath in, side out. On the inhale, bring yourself upright. Let your right knee turn in to face the back of the mat. Use your right hand to find a 90 degree from right hip to knee to ankle. And you're in half frog. Maybe you want to fold over your left leg. If you really want to dig deep into your groin, fold in between your legs here. Beautiful yin shape. If you're working on full frog or your straddle split, this is a great one to spend some time in. Take a big breath in. Side out. And then on the inhale, please bring yourself upright. Plant your right foot back into the floor, knee facing up to where you had it exactly a few moments ago. Use your hands just to transfer your weight forward onto the ball of your right foot. And you're kind of like something that looks like a Skandasana. I'm going to take a hops back here. Now maybe you just want to stay here, walk your hands over to your right so you're facing the front of the mat, and plant your hands underneath your shoulders and just maybe appreciate, wow, this is quite a big twist. Or looking forward, line up one or two triceps with the outer right thigh. Maybe you want to teeter this into a Vinyasa 2. You can Vinyasa 1. You can keep your right knee bent or extend the leg out to your left. Bring your chest forward. Now we want to come back to exactly the same shape we had earlier on. By bending the right knee, land the ball of the foot right underneath you, left leg slides back. Cool. Turn over your right shoulder and open up into a pyramid pose. Your left foot steps a foot forward. Use your blocks if you need to. Let the head drop. So there's about 2.5, 3 feet or so between your feet. Railroad track the heels. A small half lift and an exhale, fold over. You can stay as you are, or perhaps explore another twist with me, taking both hands to the inner right foot. Maybe take them on blocks. Let the head drop. Look at your left leg. Your right hand reaches back to the outer left ankle, calf, or thigh, whatever you can grab. Pull your right hip back. Anchor through your heels. Maybe then the left hand reaches overhead to find the outer right ankle. And then turn your chest open to the left, pulling the left elbow overhead. push through your heels and big toe mounts. This really messes with your proprioception. And then inhale, carefully unravel, find a half lift over your right leg. And exhale, fold over. Looking at the back of your mat, dial your fingers to face the back of the mat. Be untended fingers, blocks as you wish. Looking forward at your right foot, it lengthens the torso, pulls the chest forward. Let's have a look at humble flamingo. Pop the left heel off the floor, your hands may slide. And then bend your left knee as you turn the toes up to the ceiling. Glue the inner knee to inner right knee. So you can sink some weight back into the hands and right heel, but push that right big toe mountain down to not fall back. Left foot stays as it is. Just walk your hands forward underneath your shoulders and extend your left leg long up towards the sky. If you want, take a step back or maybe pop into the ball of your right foot. And if you want to, perhaps a one-legged hop back to a one-legged chaturanga. The left leg kicks up. Coming up, upward facing dog to your downward facing dog. So when I have an epically long sequence, I like to repeat my vinyasa. So stay in down dog or come forward on the inhale to plank. Chaturanga Dandasana halfway down to your upward facing dog. To your downward facing dog. And I do like the number 3, so maybe stay where you are. Take knees, chest, and chin as an option. Or chaturanga. As you lower halfway down, maybe you want to flip onto the top of the feet. Then take your upward facing dog to your downward facing dog. All right, big breath in. Side out. And then do take a moment, child's pose, or sit up on your shins. All right. Let's get into our second side. Stay with your breath. And let's find all fours. Walk it to the top of the mat. Needs a bit of space. 45, shoulder to wrist, core engaged. Tuck your left toes, push the heel away from you, leg lengthens, a little pause. Just make sure you're breathing. Inhale, swivel your left foot to the right, feel the left side body open, a little pause. Here we go, that massive hip mobility range. Exhale, draw left knee to left elbow, tricep, and then inhale, thread the leg in front of your right, scoop the knee, and push your booty back. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, swing it back behind you to the right. Twice more. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Scoop the right knee, send your seat back. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, swing it back behind to the right. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Scoop the right knee, send it back, eagle legs. And then exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, swing it behind you to the right. Exhale, step that left foot to the outside of the left hand. Maybe lengthen your lunge by sliding your right knee back. Look forward. Inhale, your left arm reaches forward, up and all the way back. Take your tail if you want. Let the left knee splay out if that feels good. Maybe come on your right forearm. And again, this is obviously pulling significantly into your psoas, but it actually opens you up from your collarbones all the way to the top of that right knee. So find a big breath in, maybe a sigh, and then carefully let the tail go if you have it. Coming back to your palms. Tuck your right toes, right knee lifts. You're in your high lizard here, your Uttan Prasthasana. Again, just feel joint integrity here. Right heel dials down to the left. Bending your right knee, your left leg lengthens, draw your hands back. Again, I like to take all of these angles in the body, right forearm down. And then inhale, find that high lizard back over your left leg, change your foot pattern. We'll go for 2 more. Take that right heel down to the left, draw your hips back by bending the right knee, bow down. Inhale, walk it forward to your high lizard, pop that right heel off the floor. And then one more time, right heel dials down to the left, draw it back. Think this gorgeous bow and arrow. And then inhale, walk it forward to that high lizard. Exhale, step your right foot behind the left at the top of the mat, a little bit further to the left, ball of the foot, and then inhale, come all the way up to stand. Grab your right wrist with the left hand, inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it over to your left, massive side body opener. Find a little kind of standing banana pose, and then inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come to the heart, draw your right knee up to the right armpit. Exhale, figure four chair, sink your seat back, heart forward, hips back. Flex that right foot. Think cow spine here, a little arcing in the back. Inhale, unhook your right ankle and step it back to a warrior one. So it's so much further than usually feels comfortable. Find that small railroad track between your heels. Hands go behind your tailbone, interlace your fingers. Inhale, pull your chest wide open. And then exhale, find your humble, devotional warrior. Letting the head drop. Relax your face. Try not to swing your booty out to the left. Draw the left hip underneath you. And do have that gaze steady as you might otherwise fall out. Let's carefully release your bind. Frame your left foot with your hands. Dial your right heel off the floor, right knee lowers. Lower leg of the right leg turns a bit to the left, 45 in the shin. Plant your palms, draw your left leg underneath you and behind you. Top of the foot faces down, take it on the floor, and then walk that back into your pigeon pose for a brief moment. Big breath in, side out. Hands, right hip strength, core, tuck your left toes. Inhale, come back up to that one-legged tabletop. Swing your left leg to the left, the toes face forward. Reset your right lower leg as that kickstand. Left hand underneath your face, right arm up. Exhale, thread it through, right upper arm, right cheek. You can even do it on the forearm. So make sure that your right lower leg is dialed a bit to the left, that same 45 degree. Look over your left shoulder towards the ceiling, and then pushing into left hand, the left foot. Keep looking up as you sink your seat way back behind you, sitting behind your right heel and come up. Rolling on the floor. Take that left forearm on the left thigh, inner thigh, outer thigh. Right arm up last time for this gate pose variation. Open side body. Keep both butt bones on the floor. And then on the inhale, bring yourself upright. Your right hand reaches to your right behind you. Come on the floor. As you come onto your right lower leg, opening up to your stargazer. Just dial your right toes a bit towards your left underneath you. And then swing that left leg in front of you over right. Draw the toes back. Have a seat in Gomukhasana. Your cow face pose, I need to take it a smidge back. Opportunity for a rest. Maybe you want to fold over. Maybe you want to take both hands to your left, playing with cross-legged side crow. You pop onto your right lower leg here, your bottom leg. Go for two arms, literally a shelf, massive twist. Go for one if you want a bit more upper body challenge. Weight comes forward. I'm not doing anything in my legs. It's simply the seesaw, the teeter-totter. Try not to look right underneath you, look forward. And then separate your heels if you're on your hands. Lower your seat between your heels. If you're forward folding in Gomukhasana, please come up. Your left toes are facing the back of the mat. Take your hands there. And then stepping into the left foot, your right leg extends up to your standing split. Now your options, of course, you can step the right foot down, left foot up, boom, done. Or maybe you want to go for that scissor kick switch in the sky. Switching your legs out. And then when you're ready, right leg is on the floor, left leg is up. Step the left foot back to your runner's lunge. And then open up to warrior two over your right leg facing the back of the mat. So here we go. Remember, try not to come from your knees, feet. Exhale, find Skandasana over your left leg, back of the mat. Inhale, warrior two over right. Take your time to change your foot pattern. Twice more. Inhale, skandasana over left. Breathe. Warrior two over right. Find your feet. And then inhale, skandasana over left. Warrior two over right. Just back to skandasana over your left leg, back of the mat. Use your hands or go without hands to lower your booty to the floor. If you need to sit down and then face that left knee up, foot on the floor. Another beautiful gate pose variation, right leg parallel to the back, long edge of the mat facing the back. Right hand grabs the inner left ankle, left arm reaches up. Try to sink your right shoulder towards the inner right thigh. Maybe find whatever you can hold on to. And then roll that left shoulder back. Your left butt bone will probably lift off the floor. Just try to energetically anchor it down. Find another breath. Wow, that really opens you up in the side body. Pretty magnificent. And then inhale, come back upright. Let the left knee turn in to face the back of the mat. Use your left hand to find that rough 90 degree from left hip to left knee to left ankle. It's intense. Stay up or fold over your right leg. Maybe fold in between your legs. Finding that a deeper inner groin stretch. Perhaps a big breath in. Side out. And on the inhale, please come upright. Turn that left knee up to the ceiling. Plant the foot into the floor where you had it a few moments ago. Use your hands by your sides. Literally transfer weight forward on the ball of the left foot. And your inner blade of the right foot will probably be down. So we want to be back in this shape in a moment. Both hands go over to your left. Plant the hands right underneath your shoulders. You can even take them on blocks. You want to line up the outer triceps to the outer left knee. Again, same thing, 1 or 2, your choice. Looking forward, maybe just want to teeter-totter a bit. Maybe you want to send it all the way onto the hands. Perhaps keep that left knee bent underneath you. You can extend the left leg to the right for your Kundi 1, Vinyasa 1. And then let's meet in that same lunge variation. Draw the left heel, ball of the foot underneath you, right leg slides back. Turn over your left shoulder, open up to pyramid pose, stepping right foot a bit forward, Parsvottanasana. Maybe rear row track your heels, find a small half lift, and then exhale, fold over. A counter twist here, both hands, well not really a counter twist, another twist. Both hands to the inner left foot, maybe on blocks, let the head drop. So you're seeing your right leg. Your left hand reaches back, make sure it's on the inner left thigh. For the outer right ankle, calf or thigh, wolf, I feel that in the hamstrings. Pull your left booty cheek back, left hip. Right hand reaches over your head for the left ankle. And then maybe turn your chest all the way open to the right. It really messes with your awareness in space. So have a real steady gaze. Push through that right heel. Find another breath. And then carefully unravel. Find a half lift over your left leg. And then exhale, fold over. You're looking at the back edge of your mat. Walk your hands towards them, fingers face away from you. Tended fingers maybe on blocks, maybe palms down. Start to look at your left foot to prepare for humble flamingo. Lift your right heel as you then bend your right knee. See if you can pull those toes up to the ceiling. Glue inner right knee to inner left. Then try to sink some weight back, but you don't want to fall all the way back, so dig those left toes into the floor. Keep your right leg where it is. Just walk your hands forward underneath your shoulders. Shoot your right leg up to the sky. You're in a standing split. You can step that right foot back or maybe pop on the ball of the left foot. And perhaps you want that one-legged hop back to a one-legged chaturanga. Kick up so the left leg can shoot back. To your upward facing dog, to your down dog. Find that big breath in, maybe a sigh. Stay in down dog or inhale, come forward to plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana. to upward facing dog, or cobra, obviously. Down dog. And one more time, if you wanted, come forward on the inhale to plank. Chaturanga halfway down. Then you flip on the top of the feet. Then to your upward facing dog. Down dog. Take a moment. Child's pose or sit up on your shins. So I'm going to swivel around. It's getting a little darker here in New York, but I think we are still good to go with lighting here. Let me have a peek. Yeah, we have one more standing wave. We'll make it in time. All right, please come to all fours to downward facing dog. So we're nice and warm now to get into our final wave here. Draw your big toes to touch. Inhale, float your left leg all the way up. Exhale, step your left foot through between your hands. Yep, we're on the left. And then find a high lunge on the inhale. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Twisting to your left. Find that guidance of your right elbow across. Breathing in the lower back, pushing through right heel. And as you can think length from the crown of the head all the way out through that back heel. I always say it's such a quintessential yoga pose. You know, we're quite compromised here, and yet we're so constantly working towards being cool, calm, and collected through the breath. All right, on the inhale, float your hands down, frame your left foot. Find a left dog split. Maybe you want a rock star to counter, to negate, keep it stacked, or roll it open as far as you like. And then inhale, dial that back around to your left dog split. Bit of spice here. Promise me you'll use your core. Stay out of your lower back. Come forward to a one-legged plank. Exhale, one-legged chaturanga. Do not untuck your right toes to a one-legged up dog. Inhale, left dog split. Exhale, a cross-legged down dog by stepping left foot in front of your right. Maybe reset your feet. Inhale, your right leg floats to a right down dog split. And then exhale, find pigeon pose. Right knee behind the right wrist. Let the lower leg be. Walk your left knee and foot back. Go for a little lift. Switching things up here though. Take your right elbow in front of your right big toe or on the inside of the foot. You can make a fist in your right hand, left palm on top, or take your hands in prayer. And if you're in front of the big toe, you might be able to sink onto the right upper arm. For this gorgeous twist here, you can literally guide yourself into a deeper twist. A little bit of a deeper hip opening. Big breath in, side out. All right, use your inhale to guide yourself out of the shape. We will revisit it in a different perspective later on. Rock some weight into the right hip and booty cheek. Turn to your left and draw your right heel in a bit towards you. Think a half wide forward fold. You can stay up. Maybe you want to walk your hands forward over your right leg, forearms, maybe a pillow with your hands. Try to anchor both your butt bones on the floor. I like to flex the left foot to get a little bit more into the back of the left leg. Find one more breath. Then use your inhale to bring yourself upright. Please face your left leg. Turn your right knee up to the ceiling. Maybe adjust your seat as you pull your right heel a little closer towards your groin. Stay right on top of your butt bones. Both arms reach up. Exhale, reach forward towards the top of the left foot. Maybe hold on to something, maybe nothing. Maybe reach your arms out to the side and around you for Marichyasana pose. That can be peace fingers, wrist, or maybe a towel. As you gently start to find perhaps a bit of a forward fold. Some people like to take their forehead to the knee. I like to lengthen my chest forward, pull my butt bones back to find a deeper forward fold. Find one more breath. And then carefully releasing that bind. Use your right hand to flip your right lower leg underneath you by pulling the toes back towards the back edge of the mat, well, the original front edge of the mat. You're in half hero's pose. Use your hands to lift up and sit on your right heel. Then step your left foot over your right thigh and you're in a seated eagle. Hands come here in front of you. Step into your left foot and your right leg extends up for a standing split. Exhale, draw your right knee into the nose. Look down, look forward and up, coming up to stand with your right leg, one-legged Tadasana. Hands come to the heart. Figure 4 chair, right ankle, left thigh, sink your booty back. Find that cow spine. Maybe your forearms rest on your right shin, and perhaps that is enough. Or turn to face your left and take your right elbow to the bottom of your right foot, finding your twisted figure 4 chair. Very challenging. You gotta send your seat back to make that happen. And then take your hands underneath your shoulders on the floor. Step your right foot to the outer left foot, pinky toes touch, cross-legged forward fold facing the back of the mat. And now look over your left shoulder and spin around until you are facing the front of the mat. Forward fold roughly at the back of your mat. Find a half lift. Walk your hands forward and play with crow pose, either in the armpits or on the bony plate above the elbows. Weight goes into the fingerprints. Pull the big toes to touch to lift the heels. We'll try a reverse low lasana. Place the top of the feet on the floor. Draw the knees together underneath you between your hands. And you're sitting in Vajrasana. Come to stand on your shins. Take your knees about inner hips width apart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands go to the lower back. Fingertips up or down, your choice. Pulling the elbows back. And maybe that's enough for your back bend this time. You can always start to bring the heart up a little bit towards the ceiling. Stay with your breath. And yeah, you can always release your hands down to the ankles, the heels. Smooth out your breath. Go for 1 and go for 2. And let the inhale bring you back upright. Go for opposite shoulders with your hands or make a fist by interlacing your hands. Cross your ankles behind you, doesn't matter which one. Sink your seat behind your heels and thread your legs along underneath you in front. Arms reach up, flex your feet. You're in Dandasana. And then exhale, fold over into your Paschimottanasana, folding over your legs. Take a moment. Big breath in. Side out. Let the inhale bring you upright. Take your hands behind your fingers, face your seat. Full addition here, reverse plank. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. Push into your palms, your big toe mounts. And then let your seat come back down. Roll onto your back. Draw your knees into the chest. Cross your ankles. Exhale, or rock up, come over your shins, maybe a jump back to your chaturanga up dog. And then your downward facing dog. Find a big breath in, maybe a sigh out. And then do take a moment, child's pose, sit up on your shins. I'm just gonna adjust my playlist here and gently give us a little extra light. All right. Please, from your child's pose or from sitting up on your shins, make your way back to downward facing dog. And then we'll get into this second side. From down dog, draw your big toes to touch. Inhale, float your right leg all the way off the floor. Exhale, step your right foot through between your hands. Inhale, high crescent lunge, pushing through your left heel. so that that leg can lengthen, but the knee won't lock out. Exhale, hands come to the heart, twisting to your right. As always, gently guide yourself with the elbow, but let your core do all the twisting for you. You can look over your back shoulder if you want. Find that length, relaxing your right toes as much as you can to spread through the bottom of your foot. All right, in control. On the inhale, float your hands down, frame that right foot. Find a right down dog split. Bend the right knee, open hip. You can take rock star if you want, or keep the hip open, keep it stacked, or turn your heart all the way up to the ceiling. Inhale, spin that back around to your right down dog split. Again, please make sure you stay wildly connected to your core. Come forward to a one-legged plank, push through your palms. A one-legged chaturanga, do not untuck the left toes. To a one-legged up dog. Inhale, right down dog split, send the leg all the way back and up. Exhale, a cross-legged down dog by stepping right foot in front of the left. Perhaps reset your feet, pinky toes may touch. Your back leg, inhale, left leg floated up for your down dog split on the left. Exhale, pigeon pose, left knee draws behind the left wrist, let that land as it is. Walk your right knee and foot back for more space. Twisting here, left elbow in front of the left big toe. Maybe you can take it on the inner foot. Hands to prayer, maybe make a fist in the left hand, right palm on top, and then see if you can roll onto that outer left upper arm. Gently guide yourself into a deeper twist, rolling a little bit more over the left hip. Find a big breath in, maybe a sigh. And on the inhale, gently guide yourself out of the twist. Rock your weight into your left hip, turn to your right, and then draw that left heel in a little bit closer towards you. Your right toes will face up to the ceiling. So you're half wide forward fold, stay up, or walk your hands forward, coming onto your forearms. Maybe make that pillow with your hands and rest your forehead on the back of your hands. A good chance that that right butt bone is off the floor. Again, try to energetically anchor it down. Find a big breath in. Maybe a sigh. And then use your inhale to bring yourself back upright. Please face your right leg towards the back of the mat, turning the left knee up to the ceiling. You may have to adjust your seat. With that left knee bend, pull that left heel in as close as you can, about inner hips between foot and inner right thigh. Both arms reach up, flex your right foot. Exhale, reach forward to the top of your right foot. Make sure your left shoulder's on the inner left thigh. Maybe you want to hold on to something, or reach your arms out to the side around you. Perhaps you want to find your bind. That can be anything. That can be, again, peace fingers, wrist, or use a towel. You can try to take your forehead to the right knee. That will get you a little bit more in a back stretch of the back. Again, I like to pull my chest a bit further forward, lengthening my spine, and then maybe that taps a bit more into your hamstrings. One more breath in, side out. If you have that bind, carefully let it go. Come upright. Use your left hand to flip your left lower leg underneath the left upper leg. Pull those toes to the wall that is now behind you. Hands, take them by your side so you can lift your seat and sit on the left heel briefly. Right foot, step it over your left thigh. Think seated eagle. Hands come in front of your right foot and then step into that right foot for a standing split. Your left leg lifts. Exhale, draw left knee to nose, look down, and then take the leg with you as you look forward and up and come up to stand one-legged Tadasana. Hands come to the heart, figure four chair, left ankle, right thigh, sink your booty back. Forearms might come to the shin. Please keep flexing the left foot. If you want that twist, turn your chest open to the right. Take that left elbow on the bottom of the left foot hands in prayer tends to be most accessible. And then turn maybe even your gaze a bit to the right. Keep sticking your booty back. On the exhale, your hands come down underneath your shoulders. Step the left foot to the outer right foot, cross-legged forward fold facing the back of the mat. Turn over your right shoulder, swivel this around until you're facing the front of the mat. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Find a half lift, inhale. Exhale, walk your hands forward in front of you. And perhaps instead of a regular crow, lift your heels, turn your knees out, pop onto the balls of your feet, sit on your heels, maybe a little rock. Coming onto your forearms, and perhaps this is enough. Some people think baby crow is easier than regular crow. I personally don't agree. I have face planted many times, but at least we're close to the floor, so it tends to not be all too dangerous. If you want to give it a try, so you can lift your seat, lengthening a bit through your legs. Look forward. Draw the knees into the armpits. Plant those fingers into the floor. Draw the chest forward. Bring your big toes to touch so you can lift the heels. And then take the balls of your feet back down so you can lengthen through your arms. Draw your knees together. Knees land between the hands. Untuck your toes and you're sitting back on the heels in Vajrasana. Next, entry to camel might not be your jam, so feel free to come up to stand on your shins and then work your hands to the lower back, drop down as far as you want, or take your knees here a little wider than glued together. Hands can come to the bottom of your feet or your heels. Core engaged, think your chest rises up, not so much a hip thrust as you come up into your camel from the floor up. Find your breath. You can even work your hands to the inner knees. Go for 1, go for 2. And then inhale, come upright. Either opposite shoulders, make that giant fist with your hands. Cross one ankle over the other. Again, doesn't matter which one. As you land your seat behind your heels, thread the legs forward in front of you. Flex your feet, arms reach up to the ceiling. And then exhale, fold over your legs. Paschimottanasana, round number 2. You can keep your knees bent and slowly start to lengthen out through your legs. You can hold on to the feet, the ankles, the calves. Maybe you want to hold on to nothing and make it a bit more of an active stretch. Go for one more breath. Maybe a sigh. And on the inhale, bring yourself upright. Hands go behind you, fingers face your seat. Last time, that reverse plank. Bring the big toes down, maybe head drops. And then exhale, lower your seat. Roll onto your back, draw the knees into the chest, cross your ankles. Lift the hips and then a rock forward, come over your shins, maybe a jump back to your upward facing dog or your cobra. Or if you skipped and just stepped back, awesome. Find a big breath in through your nose, side out. And then walk your hands back, your feet forward until you're in a forward fold in the middle of the mat. I'm going to turn around so I'm facing in a better direction for you. All right, let's get into this little final play time. Bend your knees, sweep your arms up to chair pose. Exhale, hands to heart, figure 4, right ankle over your left thigh. Sink your seat way, way, way back. And then take your hands down to the floor, nice and wide as the mat. And pop onto the ball of your left foot. Plant your seat on the left heel. That's pretty much the perineum in your body. Maybe you want to stay here. Maybe you want to try to take your hands to your heart in prayer for your figure 4 toe tuck. Very challenging. Or take both your hands to your left, finding that twist. Plant that right foot super duper high on the outer right tricep. Think side crow coming forward. As you kick your left heel to face the top of the mat for your dragonfly, or actually better known as grasshopper. And then draw that left foot back underneath you. All coming from your figure 4 toe stand. Walk your hands back, lower your booty onto the floor. Step that left foot a bit further over to the right, opening up to your double pigeon. You might want to rock your right butt bone back so that when you look down, you'll see a triangle. You can always take right ankle in front of left for Sukhasana. And if you want to take this on your back, you're more than welcome to. You can stay up in a double pigeon. You can fold over. Maybe you want to take a reverse prayer behind your back for an added shoulder opener as you come forward into your double pigeon. So giving yourself a moment here, sending breath into the full 360 degree of your low belly, your lower rib cage. Find another breath. And then let the next inhale pick you back upright. You can cross your ankles right over left, lean back a bit. Maybe if you have some energy left in you, a jump back or take a step back, flow through Vinyasa or skip to your downward facing dog. Big breath in, side out. And then walk your feet forward, hands back until you're back in that forward fold in the middle of your mat. Again, I'm going to turn around so you can see a little better what I'm doing with my feet. Second side, home stretch. Bend your knees, sweep your arms up for your chair pose. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Lift left knee, figure 4, left ankle, right thigh. Send your seat way back. Hands to the heart. Taking your hands nice and wide to the floor. Of course, blocks can be handy. And then pop into the ball of your right foot, sit on the right heel. Very classic shape, your tiptoe, figure 4, maybe hands to the heart. Quite a challenging balance. Or take both your hands to your right and maybe just explore what it's like to be in this ferocious twist hip opener. Stepping that left foot high on the tricep because you might slide a bit, and if you step it up high, it won't slide off the elbow. Looking forward, think side crow, 1 or 2 arms, and then kick your right heel to the top of the mat. Bring your chest a bit further forward, grasshopper number 2, and then step that right foot back underneath you. Take your hands nice and wide to your sides so you can lower onto your booty. Step that right foot a bit more over to your left so you can open up to double pigeon, maybe adjust your feet. Again, you can stay up, you can take Sukhasana, easy seat, crossing left ankle in front of right, or maybe take another reverse prayer behind your back, folding over. And give yourself a moment. You can soften the space between your eyebrows, back of the eyes. And then on the next inhale, bring yourself upright. Taking your time, undo your prayer hands if you have them. Step your feet in front, maybe a little windshield wiper. And then please take your time to roll onto your back. Maybe you want to transition that into a happy baby or plow or shoulder stand. Always optional. I know shoulder stand plow for some people is just not comfortable for their neck, so don't do it. You can take rolling bridges, maybe just a fish pose, where you take your thumbs underneath the fleshy part of your seat, lengthening your legs long, gluing them together, point to the toes, hug the elbows in, pushing into palms and forearms, allowing the head to drop. But of course, if you want a bridge pose or wheel, feel free to implement. And then when you're coming out, Again, a little windshield wiper might be nice. Maybe even want to draw the bottom of the feet together eventually. Knees wide, one hand to heart, one hand to belly. To let yourself come into a bit more lunar shape. Take your time to finish whatever it is you are working on. I'm going to slowly change my camera here towards my bowls. And as you make your way in and towards Shavasana, let your feet be wide as the mat. Maybe you want to keep your Supta Baddha Konasana, bottom of the feet together, knees wide. And maybe you want to lengthen your legs out long. So, if I were to name this class, maybe it would have been something like curveballs, as I threw you plenty. And I actually have quite a background in Hatha, long holds, beautiful for discipline, refining mastery. But I also find that if we constantly only do what we're already good at, there can be a tendency that we're just feeding our ego. So when we are on the mat and we're physically moving through kind of pathways that might feel new or like a curveball, and yet we stay present, we stay with our breath, we stay out of a state of assumption, anticipation. That really strengthens those neural pathways, not just in the brain, but also I think can build great confidence in our body. So when life throws us a real curveball, and I know that many of us here have experienced many and will probably have plenty more to come, I think that we feel a bit more steady in the storm when they come, when we have practiced indeed to flow and to ride the wave through this kind of physical work. So thank you. For taking that journey with me, for maybe having a bit of humble pie. And here, just allowing yourself to absorb that wave that you just rode through the hips, the ankles, the heart, all with a steady breath. Letting the back of the eyes soften, the back of the brain relax to the back of the skull. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Please stay here a little longer if you wish. Please reach out with any questions, and I'll be back very soon.